line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
And now, race fans, here, time to end out our doubleheader here at Texas Motor Speedway with an absolute barn burner clinic. It's time to see the track and racing efforts of Shake and Bake Racing League as their playoffs now are in full contingency, and it's time to bring out the best and the brightest and toughest of these drivers. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Driver, joining you guys here today as we get to you guys with the Next Gen Cup Series of Shake and Bake Racing League presented by the ButtKicker. This is your grading order for today's action here on the start. 145 laps to the distance. We'll see the 66 of Nick Barassi, your number 1 seed with his outside. That is going to be Brandon Sheffield in the 96. Row number 2 will be Brad Ward in the 87 is outside. In the 10 it will be rocketed by Edward Kane. Row number 3 is Jason Jackson in the 86 is outside. It will be the 79 Alan Wilson the 3rd. Row number 4 it's going to be Chris James in the 82 is outside the 71. That's Rocky Harpins. Row number 5 is Derek Woodford, and the 44 is outside. It will be the big 9. That will be Lawrence Shaughnessy Jr. Row number 6 is Brian P. Traeger, and the 6 is outside. The 5, Luke Doran. Row number 7, well piloted down with Justin Levine, and the 19 is outside. The 23, it's Charlie McCarty. Row number 8 will be Andrew Griesbaum, and the 78 is outside. The 64 is piloted by Austin Derbyshire. Row number 9 is the 13 and Craig Harris is outside. The 74 is Daniel Walker. Row number 10 will be Timothy Babcock, and the 99 is outside. The 21 is Daryl Whitford. And then finally, in row number 11, in the 17, it'll be Kevin Whitford is outside. Wild Bill Matthews, the 75. Race fans, it's time again. It's time to get racing. It's time to get loaded. We are set to go for PTM Racing TV's coverage of Shake and Bake Racing League and the Next Gen Cup Series with their showcase of the ButtKicker Series here on the stage, presented in part by our friends at the ButtKicker Company. The best in performance on feeling real tracks of the virtual world, the ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. We'll bring him off the stage here, right off the corner distance here. 145 laps to the distance. Go time in the playoffs. Green flag flying high in the air. The playoff drivers are marked, and the playoffs begin to continue on. Well, we saw earlier on too how those truck series handle here on this track. Now that they've got a clean slate and the track is cleaned up just a little bit, it's going to be interesting to see how these Next Gen Cup cars fare and shake. It'll be a very tall order here and a very tight little deal. They have to make their way through as the field moves through. Everybody looking strong out of the gate, no troubles here. Brian P. Traeger in the 6 here already making some moves off though, got a spot up, looking for 2. Rocky Harpins on his outside though, not giving him much room in that 71. Trying to keep him behind the field and behind the pace, knows that he can't give up too much room quickly here. Well, we talked earlier about how the right fronts can be very detrimental towards those truck series, but in this case, it's going to be the right rears here of the Next Gen Cup cars that make things so much more difficult because of that rear end differential here and that double-ended steering mechanism. It allows for drivers to run these tracks and run them through as hard and as possibly as crazy as they can as the 3 wide so it engages. Some playing it on the top side right now while others taking it towards more of the bottom lane. Surprisingly here, the 9 Lawrence Tennessee Jr. able to keep a pretty good distance and maintain control over the car as he works his way on around. You're on board though with Rocky Harpins, one of the playoff drivers. And Harpins right now, currently, he knows he's in a very tall spot in a tall little order here. Has to stay focused on his march and on his charge and really line up his run with the rest of the field. Stay close to the heart and keep it close to the chest and hope for the rest to work out in his favor. Meanwhile, right now, your race leaders, Brandon Sheffield, the 96 and the 87 of Brad Ward, looking to continue their playoff regime. And Ward already looking to make a move, put the camera on him, and he's like, oh, is it my turn to pass? Here we go then. Bound to the bottom into turn 4, and it's Ward that takes full control. Sheffield moved to the back. That's the first hard pass we have seen done here, and it looked like Ward had gotten an opening there for Sheffield. Sheffield had no room to go and nowhere to hide, so he decided to get him out of there and get out of that way. Probably thinking long-term strategy here, as you can even hear the shifting being done up on these next gens. That itself also adds a whole nother layer here we did not see in the last race, of course, because really shifting there was not necessarily needed. But here, that seems to be a completely different story here. It looks like these drivers are going to be shifting in and out just a little bit with these setups. Many of which taking it very easy through the corners. They are easy through the turns here, not trying to dip or dive too quickly. They're looking to stay focused on their marks and stay close to the track line and spot. Number 71 of Rocky Harpins right now looking to get underneath that 9 Lawrence Tennessee Jr. and take away position. Couldn't quite clear him there. This time though, looks like he might have a chance to get to him. A lot of Chevys and Fords in this one. No Toyotas actually in this series. Surprising to be here, but I guess it kind of adds to a different level playing field. With the Fords and Chevys being the only cars on the track, that allows them to really make use of their equipment and really figure out how to get better and faster with what they got at their disposal. Nick Barassi in the 66 here. Remember, he was your #1 seed going into this race, and he is moving already back into 12, and just crazy how things get flipped around and things just get changed so quick here on a diamond, on a charge, and Barassi knowing that way too much here. '79 of Alan Wilson also making a bit of a run currently in the mid-pack, currently holding top 10 here. The playoff drivers doing good for themselves, except for Traeger, who is falling back in the 11th slot. He needs to start picking the pace up to stick with this, guys. You can even hear that throttle rhythm, very gentle in and out, not trying to overdo or overpower. And really they can't even either. Clarification as well, Levine is in the 33, not the 19, so the number on his car is a 33, but on our end it shows the 19, which is not true. It's just a stamp version, but there's a custom number being ran on Levine, so that's why you hear the confusion a little bit from us. Chris James, the 82 right now, currently actually holding back some of the field here with Edward King behind him. Everybody just kind of staying a little bit more into the take it easy and put it under control timeline. While up front, Brandon Sheffield and Brad Ward equaling power personified, to say the least. On board here with a high roller team here. Oh, and giving a little bump to the front line. Esports crew up ahead of him. Lawrence giving him just a slight tap, but backs off. Knew he didn't want to try to make anything too crazy on him or too hard on that car, and they obviously know it too. Oh, Traeger though, driving hard and gets a piece there of Barassi. And I don't know if Shaughnessy either appreciated that. Barassi getting ahead of Traeger earlier, and now Traeger getting a piece of Shaughnessy Jr. He's trying to get a move on here. They're going to go 3 wide saloon off of corner number 2. Mix and match, driving it back and hope for the best. Everybody looking strong here out of the gate. Even the 78 mixing it through. Watch that drive right through the gap. Shoot it through the gap. Hangs on, or does he? Oh my. Looped around right now, probably just thinking to himself, how the heck did he even get around me there? I didn't even know he was going through that gap. Then had to straight overshoot it, clock it to the bottom, and draft right through, using the 9 of Shaughnessy Jr. as a teammate to help him out. Great driving by the 9 to 5, but my word, Griesbaum throwing a heavy wrist in between to make things just that much more interesting. Battle for 4th here. Edward Kane going head-to-head here, or excuse me, 3rd here between Edward Kane and Chris James, while Rocky Harpins in the 71 looks to get up to him. Edward Kane right now and that 10 right now looking to try and keep speed up into control. The Edward Kane public accountant looking to keep this number 10 machine in a solid place, in a solid spot, the same way he likes to keep his money right where he wants it. And that's right where his mouth is, and he is using it all and then some. Doesn't seem to be too phased or too worried about nothing. He's just really kind of keeping a close eye on the track and on the cars. Derek Whitford in that 44 also kind of holding the charge in there with the 71 of Rocky Harpins coming closer and closer there. Chris James in that 22, in that 82, excuse me. It looks like a 22 from back here, so I apologize in advance, but no, that's an 82 in the E-Speed camp. Everybody just mixing it up back here. Barassi earlier on stayed way behind the pack. Now he's just mounting it through these guys. This is multiple strategies being thrown at once, and everybody having to kind of coincide with one another and use each other as an advantage. Whitford falling back to Wilson. And here comes Barassi back onto the chute. He's not in the playoffs, but I don't think that really bothers the Civil Tech 66 Ford Mustang. I think the only thing he cares about is just putting this thing in victory lane. Caution flag out though. Charlie McCarty here in the 23. Problems down there on the front straightaway here, and that will park us in to our first caution of the day. Time to take a look and see what happened here exactly here. It looks like maybe some trouble there for the 23. Yeah, it looked like it came off turn 4. It's like, yep. Loose here. Oh, slammed right into the wall protection in the 23. Just wailing that car, and caution flag flying on out because of it. What a tough break there for the Fit 23. Charlie definitely did not think that that was going to coincide too quickly like that, but that is the problem you face with this kind of run and this kind of deal. Once the steering got a little bit loose, you can see he was trying to save it, but once that rear end's out, it's game over. There's nothing else you can do. You just hear how quick everything just stops on a dime and just suddenly shuts off. And he knew it too. What a tough break there for McCarty. Working some technical difficulties on our end here, guys. Sorry for the jump cuts here. There we go. So field will have to work their way back on around here and get settled back down on the track. 21 laps have been completed out of the 145 today. Should be an interesting little situation here to really put up and follow up with. Field gonna get squared back away right now here. We're gonna get them double filed up. Brandon Sheffield, the 96, will be your front runner here on the restart with the 87 of Brad Ward on his outside. We've got a surreal battle coming up again here with everyone locked and loaded. These two up ahead of them were currently the front runners in this race. Now have to test themselves and test their way and their patience through again. Field scratched up, ready to bring it back down to the house here and bring it off the corner, number 4. Line them off, down their turn, down their edge. It's going to be an interesting one. Entering into the ButtKicker restart zone. Green flag back on out. We're get to finish out this first set. Here we go. Plenty of races still to be had out of the 145 lap ordeal. Popping them down around the back straightaway here. Everybody looking solid as can be, trying to hold it down. Nobody giving an inch just yet. Still plenty of room for that and plenty of opportunities to get it going. Oh, it's Craig Harrison. 13 gets a little bump and rough off that wall protection there. And Chris James now swinging his way right in. Double in. Double. Oh my. He's on the attack. He got 3. He wants 4. That is a huge move and charge from the back. James is picking drivers off left and right, but that car's also picking off some tire wear left and right. Oh my, he got 5 cars in that one. That was a huge run there for the number 82, and he's still not done. Got around Traeger here. Meanwhile, right at the forefront, Brad Ward, one of our lone Canadian drivers here, going for it. Brandon Sheffield, the 96, currently trying to keep his machine up to full power and up to full stuff in the Caden Strong machine. But now, I guess I need to say anything else. Watch out. Chris James is literally a bat straight from the deads below. We have a new leader, 6 spots up, and literally charged 8 spots just to get to that front runner leader. Chris James is the new one. Feel the power, you feel the momentum. The 670 horsepower package with that 4-inch spoiler definitely making things just a little bit more difficult to work around and also have to fight against. And a track like Texas Motor Speedway with its high banked levels and these high banked corners, you can't really take a full throttle attack a zone into turn 3 and 4 like you saw earlier with the 550 horsepower package of the Truck Series. You've got to be a little bit more lenient, a little bit more under control and under the radar when you're heading to those corners, because again, it's a very tough little predicament. You have to really watch the throttle, watch the momentum, and hope that it doesn't get overclocked or oversaturated with the wear and tear while also getting through that momentum. So many factors, so many things that lean in that way, and it's very difficult to really pinpoint a perfect shot, a perfect timing run. Really, a lot of drivers just find it better if you could just kind of stay within range, and stay under control with everything. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Justin Levi right now currently in that number 19 stick and at the 66, Nick Grassi. Luke Duran right now currently also holding up his own in the big 5. We're on board with the number 5. If you can hear that throttle rhythm too, I talked about it earlier. You heard them in 3 and 4. They did not go full blast. They had to lift slightly to give the car room and time to breathe. Making things that much more difficult, that much tougher to do. Caution flag out as well here. Looks like we're going to go ahead and get them a little trouble cleaning up here because the number 9 of Lawrence Hennessy Jr. slamming the wall protection, and it looks like he might have a tire going off on that 9. Oh yeah, that tire is broke. He's got problems. He's got a broken right front axle rod, tie rod, completely beaten off the brink there, and it is broken. It is damaged badly. He is not going to get that thing around like he wants it to, and he's hoping to get it into pit road. That is going to be a horrible turf. Got clipped in there by the 99. You can see he got right around on the corner, and then bam! Oh my goodness. Took a huge hit. You can see the right front locked up completely. Amazing the left front didn't get locked up there in that corner, but definitely not what you wanted to see there from the 9, and what a tough break there for him. See right here, kind of battle it out, and the 99 there. But Timothy Babcock just barely getting him. And that's all she wrote. Drivers heading for pit road, but right now, race fans, we're going to go ahead and let them get squared away and see who comes out on top when we come back. These drivers have got their hands and work cut out for them. Someone's got to give and something's got to give, but who will it be? Find out when we return. Tonight's race presented in part by our friends at the ButtKicker Company. The best in performance on feeling real tracks of the virtual world. The ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back here, race fans, onto the show once again here at the field currently. In a very troublesome situation here for some drivers, and some just getting into complete chaos and mayhem here. Looking to try to fix that up and get that squared away, but right now the field is currently fighting against the track and fighting against the car as much as anything else to believe. Well, field right now gonna get situated back out. We're double filed up again. Not quite halfway done with this race though yet. Still plenty of time left on the track and still plenty of racing to go with it. Shake and Bake Racing League Next Gen Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway presented by the ButtKicker Company. Ready to get back to it. Brad Ward in the 87 will be your leader here. The 79 of Alan Wilson up on the outside bow. The second row there, Brendan Sheffield and Brian P. Traeger moving in as well. So some drivers currently who are in the mid-pack or in that top 5 are now kind of creeping a little bit in. Packed around off for corner number 4 once again. Green flag off. We're back underway. No gimmies here. Everybody moving their way through the chains, and so many drivers looking for the same. Speeds ramping up now. You can see over 170 miles per hour reached, 180 now pinpointing up. Highest speed so far, 191. Brandon Sheffield laying down that speed ordinance. Still not enough though to take down Brad Ward, who currently is holding him back just a slight bit into the distance. Off into the corner of backstretch turn 3. It's the 5 of Duran right now. Move in the middle and moving the 44 of Whitford up a little bit. Whitford into the wall protections. Got to get out of there, and does indeed, but unfortunately suffers the damage done to the Cool Breeze Racing 44 machine. Took a huge hit off of that and definitely knows that's not going to help him out anytime soon. Marking their way down across the track through the distance. Everybody looking strong as can be with Highside Racing esports machines sticking to their guns. Of power and speed being put to good use, being put to full work. Every driver right now just trying to stay under control and stay out of trouble at this point. They know they've still got a long, long way to go in this one. While Bill Matthews finally getting back on the track, Charlie McCarty as well up into the is right now down and out. I think Charlie is done for the day. While Bill though able to get that car back out after what he suffered earlier is pretty impressive. And well, we're back to phase 1 of Brad Ward and Brandon Sheffield going at each other's throats here. These two just do not leave each other alone, I don't think. Brandon right now, this time the one put behind the 87. Brad Ward right now currently looking to keep defending and blocking him out. Justin Levine also kind of moving his way back in from the top 5. He's 8 spots up. Currently working his way around to Edward Kane in the number 10. A lot of drivers right now kind of going for their runs, going for broke, going for some momentum here. They can't really let too much get out from underneath them. Gotta stay focused. Got a couple teams in this one, of course, with One Sim Racing Team, Highside Racing Esports Team, and then of course Cool Breeze Racing. Those are just some of your guys that you're seeing right now on display. 4 teams represented though as the playoffs for Shake and Bake Racing League continues through. Back on board here, Rocky Harpins here in the number 71, and he now looks to take his move off on the Edward Kane account in number 10. Wheel working hard, Wheel keeping up the stuff, keeping up the work here. Trouble for Kevin Whitford there, unfortunately 17 going off, playing into the grassy zone. Well, I have to kind of slow himself down just a little bit as we now have a 4-car battle entering in for third. Yeah, the more they battle for third too, the harder it's going to be to get up to that front and get for the lead. And I don't think anybody really cares at this point. I think they only care about one thing, just make their move and make their mark. Crossing them up in between now, Sheffield and Ward. Both guys just looking for an opposite opening on the other. Ward looking to try to steer clear of Sheffield, but not overdrive the right side of the tires. Sheffield looking to try and stay in that draft line, stay within that bubble range. Knows his draft is not going to be in full use though. He's going to be in a very tight little ordeal to get around it there. Brian B. Traeger, after that little trouble he had earlier on the restart, seems to be fighting back here, catching up with the crew. At the 44 of Derek Whitford, raised the alarm. E-Speed Racing versus Cool Breeze Racing in this one. Derek as well, he's switching from that 4th gear to that 5th gear where they're only using 2 gears. Turn 1 especially, it seems like they're really switching that gear around. You can hear it too, you see right there, that's where he switched it. Flip the switch and goes right into 4th, and he'll go into 5th gear as he comes in to the entry of turn number 3 and 4, but never really lifting off until he gets about a quarter into that turn. It's a very interesting strategy here because again we got guys that are kind of playing the fine line. You got a few guys that are playing a different line and trying not to get too timid, as the rest focus more on just overall showcase and overall presentation, with the rest of them coming through into that pack and into that range. Rocky Hartens yet again gonna go doing it out here with a 38, Justin Levine. Levine seeing opportunity to move ahead and find his way in, but can't quite stay in contention. Alan Wilson also moving chains and moving the rocks back up. He's currently in 6th, started 6th, just staying right where he is at, but don't think he wants to stay in there for too much longer. He wants to make his way up to the front. Here coming off that back half on the back straightaway, there is no gives or no gimmies. It's either hold on and stick to it, or you best hope you can find a way to swim while you sink. 5, 6 cars now coming into the field. It's double filed up. It's double sided again. There is nowhere to relinquish. There is nowhere to give out to. It's only fight for your run and hope for the best and keep it on all that you can go. Jason Jackson, Alan Wilson, Edward Kane, Derek Whitford, Brian B. Traeger, all in that mix-up. Luke Durant even making his way through. And you talk about just having the trouble trying to pass as well. It seems like these cars are just getting more and more tough to find a way to pass. So you see guys get kind of stuck in that mid-pack, kind of stuck in that mid-range, and then next thing you know, they're having to kind of flip-flop around once more and just hope for the best. And that's what's making it so darn difficult here, just to stay focused with and stay in control of. Jason Jackson managing to get away from that mess there, although that can't be the same for Lawrence Donesi Jr. and Timothy Babcock. Both drivers stopping on a dime and crashing out, cautions out. Let's go to the PTM Instant Replay and see what happened here exactly. Two worlds collided and they didn't quite find a way to get out of this mess here. Babcock getting into the 9, and it looked like kind of the same deal we saw earlier where Babcock got into one driver. Now he gets into another. Shaughnessy, nowhere really to go and nowhere really to escape from. It's just a weird way that wreck kind of came up. Again, Babcock, it looked like he had a great run there coming off the corner, and then next thing you know, he just kind of messed up with the 9. But you can see as soon as he steered into the right, he thought the car was already set, but that was definitely not the case there anyway. Well, that'll line us back up in our positions and put us back into our place. Still plenty of opportunities though. But we're now rolling off on time here. We're getting to the halfway point, and that could be dangerous here. Let's see if these guys can fare well with it. So, right off pit road here, looks like Sheffield and Ward again, you're going to get first and second out. Traeger, though, will move into the 3rd spot, so he goes 8 spots up for now. Harpin's going 4 in as well. Edward Kane going in -1. He'll be in the 5th slot. Albus going in the 6th again. Stites was high his qualifying record. Luke Durand will go 5 up, 7th position for him. Jason Jackson 3 down here. He's in the 8th spot. 9th for Derek Whitford, right where he qualified as well. Andrew Griesbaum Currently holding up the top 10 in that pecking order there. Solid roster of drivers. No give-ups yet and no gimmies yet. Field bringing their way back across the back straightaway here. No time for showboating now. Better get to work down there. Back down around the corners here, entering in. We're going to go to a caution again. They're going to keep the yellow lights on. Not all drivers are ready to go just yet. Make sure everyone is set before we send them back to the track and back to the race here. Backstretch lined up, ready to go at it once again here, race fans. We are still nowhere near done. Off the entry now, lining up back to the drive here. Green flag flies high in the air again. We're back away. Down to the foreground and into the positions we go. Every driver for themselves, currently looking for a momentum boost, a little bit of a shot in the arm. Anything they can do to help get their maiden voyage fully done. Right back around as well now. Everybody looking strong through the position. Through the corners we go. We got company moving up. The 38, Justin Levi, managing to crisscross his way through 5 or 6 drivers just alone right there. That's some serious work and development, moving the chains ahead. Greg Harris at 13, still struggling a little bit. He just can't keep that 13 dialed down and straightened off on the corners. He knows it too, and it's just not giving him much room, much effort there. Can't keep having that happen, though. He's going to be finding himself in a lot more trouble later on. Levi, though, for the first time today, is going to be one of the other drivers to fight for the race leader. Oh, and even a little bobble there from Ward gives Levi all the room he needs. Here comes in 38. Levi with the full throttle assault, the charge, engaged, and advances. He gets it ahead of Sheffield and Ward, and now Ward making his way through. Sheffield gets it right up ahead of him. Here comes Chris James in that 82 E-Speed machine. We got 2 for the price of 1. Traffic now being a big benefactor. And the speed and the scope of these tires and the wear and tear they put on them have now been exposed. Sheffield and Ward have been in pit road since lap 36. James and Levi since lap 60. Talk about a complete 180 in terms of speed, scope, and hour. Now Edward Kane engaging a little bit here, as you see even Timothy Babcock making a big comeback to her here. Moving chains and moving the run around. He is making some serious headways here. Babcock earlier on getting into that 9 of Lawrence John S.C. Jr. Doesn't seem to be bugging him too much now. He is dead, folks, and deadlocked into the corners and into the turns. Brian P. Traeger now exposing those lap tires and those burnt up pieces of equipment here. Really making it work and making it come back in full regard and full scope. On board here with Babcock. Throttle rhythm, you can hear that pressure and pounding effort going. No lost time and all the speed he needs to, and he needs to do a lot of it to keep in pace and keep it within range. We are now halfway done with this race. Halfway done with the race so far, and man, has it been something. These guys putting everything in its place and in where it needed to go to make it big and make it on point. They really had to as well here. They knew it. If they didn't do it, then it was going to be a tall order and a tall shakeup, and that's exactly what I think a lot of these guys are looking for. These playoff drivers, though, kind of fitting the bill and suiting the attention they're getting here. They need to be very careful about what they go through, what they deal with here. Wilson now getting ahead here while Barassi looks to try to take over spots. Darrell Whitford there in the 21, losing some ground. Unfortunately, didn't quite have the speed and momentum to carry through and carry forward. Now getting taken back a few spots, but coming back up here to face up with Griesbaum here. Whitford managing to make his way up ahead of Griesbaum. That was Alan Wilson. He was right behind, I should say, clear by. Rossi right in the clutch moments and the momentous occasions. Trying to stick with it. Wilson now having to play a little bit of defense here to try to keep that 66 behind him, not wanting to give him too much room or too many openings. Can be very treacherous though, because again, we saw earlier, if you bump and run a little too much or you get a little too crazy here, it gets very, very difficult to work around. They know that very much so. That's why they're keeping close tabs on it all. Justin Levi and Chris James right now, both guys here engaging each other and kind of keeping the clutch on point, on par. Of course, James here having a great little drive there around to get to Levi, but didn't quite have enough as Levi had kind of cut through the entire field and taken over position. James so on the nose, sail on the tail there, really took full control and took his speed up for grabs and up to par. Now it is James trying to get to Levi and see if he has got some openings down there, if there's anything he's got under display and under the performance there, while the rest of the field just continue to keep on pace, keep on track. Field starting to stretch out a little bit. Duran looking very, very comfortable here in that 5 high-speed machine. High-speed racing esports right now, continuing to push forward, continue to push on. Staying in motion, staying under control, looking to continue to maintain forward momentum. Jackson much of the same here as well, just continuing to find his rhythm, find his groove again. Very temptations, very post-match, and very controlling on the narrative he wanted to set for that team and that crew, and he's getting a good run of it and a good look at it right now. Well, Rocky Harbin's right now exposing Brad Ward and Brad Sheffield's little move off here in their distance control. They had so much speed earlier, but not enough power to finish out where they were going with it. Harbin's right now kind of stuck in the planes and in the pack here, just trying to keep momentum and distance alive and travel. Field separating out further as we go, continuing to make way for the tanks and make way for the speedsters. Hard chargers and the hard drivers, not giving in and not giving up. Again, you can see this is where really this turns into more of a drive off, a more hang on to it and go for broke kind of momentum booster here. These drivers know they have got to find strategy and find them in the right places and time them off as best they can. That's exactly what they're doing now. But for guys like Chris James and Justin Levi, this is more or less about just an endurance race at this point to see who gets to who first. Lap traffic now becoming a factor here as Daniel Walker in the 74
currently just trying to stay right up ahead. Kevin Whitford in that 17 machine. Whitford in a bit of trouble right now. Could be put a lap down in just a second, but Justin Levine is looking to put all of them a lap down and then some. Greg Harris also the 13 currently just standing a little bit on the totem pole of could be taken for a distance, taken for a drive off here, but stays relatively within his market and in his closing laps. Nothing too much to worry about there. Let's take a look at the lap times here between James and Levi. And really, there's no even argument here, folks. I mean, you can just see the overall scope that Levine has put up against James here. James knows until he gets through lap traffic, there's really no way to slow him down. And a 0.4 of a second gain there on James. This is going to be very, very difficult to get around, especially with that lap traffic bowling around on these guys. See what we got here on lap number 989. This is going to be a very tough challenge, though. James wants any chance to catch him, and it looks like he may have put a whole second on him. Well, another 0.5 of a second gain. That's a full second within 2 laps almost. No quit, no give. And speaking of quit, watch out here as the 87. Brad Ward getting passed up again. He's got more company with him with Rocky Harpins moving the chains ahead of him, and even now the 5 of Luke Duran trying to avoid the little troublesome Brad Ward there in the 87 as Brad losing even more ground up, gets passed in by the 86 of Jason Jackson. Jackson making a great little move out there. You can see that little wiggle there, right there. That is what Brad Ward is struggling with. He is currently enduring and struggling with pressure and performance here because, again, he's facing the ultimate challenge, the ultimate task of what is going down with that tire set, that car itself, the wear and tear that it brings to it, and everything. It's what's getting him down right now. It's giving him so much troubles and problems. And he is not able to engage with it or fix around it because there's just no way of doing so. Darrell Whitford right now, the 21, keeping pace and momentum, a breeze and a brew. All these guys right now, man, it just seems like they're fighting the cars more than they're fighting each other at this point, which again, we kind of figured would happen. We kind of speculated that would be kind of a cause and a deal here. These drivers would have to go up and face later on in this race, and it looks like it's finally now coming ahead. Grab ahead now, Duran, and it looks like Harpin's going to have a little tussle here, a little kick back, fight it out, and see which one gets the better of the two. Duran looking to go inside, gets blocked. Harpin's taking it back topside. He's not giving him any room up there. Giving him any room, not giving him any chance to really think or breathe. That's exactly what he wants to do. Keep dead focus, keep him honest, and make sure he doesn't have a way to take you down. Staying super focused on those corners again. That's just how difficult it shows these cars, they just have no give-me's here. And speaking of that, right now, look up ahead. Darrell Whitford here in the 21 making a great little resurgence back at that 79 of Alan Wilson. Alan Wilson pulling some strings, pulling the speeds back as drivers go into pit road. Levi, Babcock, Edward Kane, Barassi, Jackson, Sheffield, Griesbaum, Whitford are all in there. Chris James, Traeger, Harpins, Durant, and Wilson, Ward, and Whitford staying out. Darrell Whitford, that is. So a very interesting spot to be thrown into. And now Chris James goes into pit road, so it looks like he's going to have to try and find a way to outsmart his competition there, as he had a good run earlier. He's going to have to try to keep that speed and momentum alive. Remember, earlier Levine was pretty much right in the mix of it and pretty much taking full control. Now, he's kind of crossed up a little bit between a rock and a hard place. Now has to try to focus back in. Luke Duran going to stay on out. Traeger as well, as Harpins has gone into pit road here. Traeger right now lining it off towards pit road. Here he comes now. He's going to try to hurry in and then hurry out. Good pit stop. Durant also going in quick. Whitford is going to stay out, so again he'll be the only driver that stays out of the bunch. Last time he went into pit road was on lap 60. So these drivers went about a 40 lap extension, a little 40 lap go round before heading back into pit road, which then makes things a little bit more tricky for the rest of the field to kind of come back from and figure out. Now James went in a lap later than Levine, but he's still about 6.5 plus seconds back of that fast-paced 38. So now that could even be a bigger trouble here for James to have to face up against. Speaking of face up against now, looks like Sheffield, after coming out of pit road, looks like he's trying to get some of his speed back underneath him and some run back into that distance. But is the damage done all too much? Is it too little, too late, you wonder? One thing you do not want to think about is whether or not you made the wrong call, or you made the right, or you made the wrong choice at the wrong time. You just gotta stay focused, stay in the moment, and hope for the best, because really that's all you can do in racing sometimes. And these drivers are well aware of that. Strengthfully holding it down is Traeger. Gets a piece of that wall protection down off of corner number 4. Took a good little hit there, and Jason Jackson looking to try to capitalize on him. Jackson so clairvoyant, pressurized, and staying focused on his goal and his opportunities when he can, and that's exactly why he made it into the playoffs just alone in this season. He knew when to hold him, he knew when to fold him. Starting to pull it up on the top side just a little bit here. Uh-oh, wait a minute though. Caution out again. Caution is out. Looks like we got one driver spun around. That's Darrell Whitford. Whitford out in the market here, and he's got problems up ahead of him.
goodness, folks.
Now the shift in dynamics in race has cleared out again. What happened to the number 21 here? It's like Craig in the 13. Oh yeah, right there. Oh my. Huge little hit, and Spartan marked up big time there. And that may be the opening that a few of these guys were looking for to get them stacked back up and get them back into the packs, but unfortunately, came at the cost of a 21's body panels and car here, and that's not what he wanted to deal with at all. 13 just kind of cleaned right in, and then you can see the hard wall protections there, slam it right into the mix and into the pile, and that was all she wrote. What a tough break there. Now that forces everybody to really have to be careful here, because this could get a very bit trickier. Field has resurrected and recentered each other out. Drivers in the pit road right now trying to get any kind of lap, fuel, Goodyears, whatever you want out of this pack and out of this car. They need every ounce of help they can get. They need all of it here, because this is getting to be a very tight and challenging order for them. You can see the field kind of stretch back out again here. Just kind of preparing up for what's to come. They've already dealt with a lot of heavy artillery thrown their way and a lot of tough ordeals thrown back in between and back on the packs here. Yellow flags currently being ready to get thrown out. They will put the green up one now, entering the signal for a 1 to go. Lights flicker off, and now the green. Now it's time for the 1 to go. Drivers now must double file them in. Filed in, stacked up, racked up, and ready to back out. We are now ready to get them up and going again. Crazier times may await them, we don't know. We've only seen just bits and pieces of what these guys can do and what they'll go through time and time again, and they're just trying to hope for the best at this point with what they've got left. For a good chunk of these drivers, though, most of them going into pit road at lap 95, 96 was good enough for them. So, but some went in on the lap 100 set, so that could be a difference maker. We will soon find out. Green flag back out on the air. Here we go again. Not only is it a race against time, but it's a race against the clock of drivers just trying to clock this in. Put positions up ahead of them, put one driver over the other, and hope for the best. Everyone going for it here. Off the edge here, Jason Jackson here, keeping his pace with Harpins. Levine right now watching Babcock behind him. Lee Babcock earlier on making a great showing of himself, coming back from that pack and then mixing it up into the third spot. Now looking to intervene, intertwine his run down for Levine. Levi right now, I gotta believe, still probably a little bit fuming over the fact that he had to go back and restart everything and have to get figured out on where the speed was going to be and where he was going to time it. But again, as we always say, that's just racing for you. You can't always have your cake and eat it too. You gotta sometimes work with what you're given and what you got. It may not always be the easiest way, but it certainly is one of the toughest ways. Down from the bottom lane, 3 wide, and entering 2 wide through 3 and 4. Movement coming from Brad Ward and Brandon Sheffield here. A little bit of smoke popping down though, a little bit of trouble. Looks like that might have been the 79 of Alan Wilson. As Rocky Harbin's getting kind of crossed up again, Sheffield gets thrown back there as well. 3 wide, Slew mixed up between off turn number 2 again. The 71 of Harpins and the 99 of Babcock with 82 of Chris James mixing it up. Every driver themselves to try to get to Levine first, but which one will it go to be? A hot start and a hot get here. Everybody making their move, making their case. Nobody giving an inch though. No one giving out just yet. They want only to take what's rightfully theirs in their mind, take their positions through. Brad Ward and Traeger right now absolutely tearing it through right now. Get to Levine. One of them can only do it though. They both can't get to him, at least the way they're presented here. Traeger and Ward so close together right now. And Harpin's kind of even mixing it up too with them. Harpin's just, I keep bringing his name up, but it's like I can't stop sometimes. He just goes right from one end to the other. Has no in between, just all gain and all ground. Go for them all, as he says. Right through, hanging in there. The 5 of Luke Duran. Going all out, going all send here, but Griesbaum and Wilson kind of mixing and matching it up a little bit. The Purina 78 and that, not 79 of Alan Wilson also in the RTD machine. Just put right in their place, right in their positions. No one able to get away from it. trying to keep everybody behind him. Not getting much room in the way of the drivers, and they know it too. Edward Kane going top side here, making a bit of a risky move, yes, a bit of a challenging move going up there. Not a bad call, not a bad angle to work with, but definitely a bit of a drive off, if you ask me. Knows he has room to work with, knows he has some speed to go with, but definitely a bit of a challenge there. Working their way through the field right now. Arpens getting close to Levine. Ward also getting back to it. Ward knows if he doesn't start making a move here, and they're going to make a move quickly, he could be in deep, deep trouble. He's got to start figuring it out now. Field working their way around. Sorry for the technical difficulties there, guys. Our audio kind of went out for a second. Brian B. Traeger, after that little run there off he got from Harpins, was able to take full control. Levine currently being hunted down now, this time by the 6 in this case. With no sign of slowing down. Traeger right now in the playoffs. Levine not in it. He's just out for some laughs and some giggles here, looking to try to see what he can do to the table here. Has no room for error, has no room to give out. He needs to make sure he gets every ounce of this speed, every ounce of this momentum boost, especially considering what lays await. And in the mix here as well, 3-car battle going on. Alan Wilson. And then that 79, the 99, Timmy Babcock, and that 86 of Jason Jackson. Playoff implications being thrown at all these drivers right now in that mix-up. Nick Barassi now looking to make his way to the field. You can see some more momentum shifting towards it. Barassi and Babcock having a great little tussle here for the 10th spot, the top 10. Having a very big go around here. Traeger and Levine here, though, are going to be put into a bit of a tough little ordeal here. A tight spot up ahead. 18 will turn to 17 laps the next time on by. Traeger is literally on the doorsteps of Levine's front door, and he is right now trying to get out of that mess. Levine trying to evade the tax, trying to evade the the same way I try to evade the tax corporations these days. He just will not give him an inch, though. Moving up ahead right now, Levi gave some room. Traeger seeing an opening. Here we go now, it's go time. It's 16 will turn to 15 laps remaining now. A great battle ensuing between the 6 of Traeger and that 38 of Levine. Levine still won't give it up though. This is an absolute drag race, but this is also giving that 71 of Harpent a chance to catch up. Levine trying to ditch ahead before Traeger gets back to him. But he drove it pretty wide there off 1 and 2. That gives the door again to Traeger. Now Levine's got to floor it back off. Gets a great exit off of 2. Traeger kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place and now has to give it all up. Maybe now looking at the overall picture, looking at how many laps he's got left, and talking with the spotters to curate a chance at a work career. This crew chief definitely got to be feeling the pressure as much as he is right now, I would say. Timothy Babcock coming right here for Brandon Sheffield. Sheffield earlier on, what a great performance he had there. Oh, wait a minute, but Brad Ward with trouble. Brad Ward with major trouble on the back straightaway. The 87 coming to a dead stop, and now caution's back on out. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, we talked about it earlier, and I don't even know what the heck you could say about this. But we're just going to take a look at it. Brad Ward driving so hard, try to hang on to it. You can see he was going for a save, but cost himself dearly. And his chances in the playoffs are maybe starting to look a little bit less objective and a little bit more struggling here. What we saw earlier versus what we saw now, this is truly kind of that unfortunate desperation and tearing up the equipment. It kind of comes with it. Man, what a huge position and a hole to be put into now. Every driver for themselves here at this point. Justin Levine right now got to be breathing a sigh of relief, but at the same time probably is now breathing a sigh of frustration because he knows who all went into pit road and who was all going to come out. I don't think this is really what he was expecting, nor does he know he wants to ever deal with Griesbaum and Babcock. They all have about the same differential on laps except for Griesbaum on Levine. He's got a 10 lap difference on those tires. That could be the difference maker. But in the 5th slot on back, all went into pit road, so that's even more troubling news. 38 chances of winning starting to dwindle because on those restarts, those fresher tires are going to absolutely tear up a few notches and tear up a piece of this track to get around. Well, I think we just lost Justin Levine there, guys. I think there is mechanical problems down there for the 19. He is done. Mechanical problems, and that's going to cost Levine any chance. Oh, boy. Field now has got the picture. With Justin Levine out, Griesbaum, Chris James, Luke Doran, and all them behind them will have their hands cut out for them, to say the least. Actually, I take it back. It's just James and Griesbaum that currently are on the lesser laps. Everybody behind him has got a full set of tires and a full set of fuel. I do not envy being in their position right now. 9 laps to go here, race fans. This is going to boil down to an absolute fight out straight to the end. But who will gain the advantage and who will get the win? That is about to be decided. With 9 laps left to go, something's got to give. Somebody's got to give off of turn number 4 this time on by. We'll put the top 5 marker on your screen. Green flag high in the air. And away we go. Let's finish this one out for their playoff race at Texas. Right into the mix. We were wondering how long it would take. It didn't take long. Harpins, Doran, right moving to the field. Doran right now trying to stick with him. Rocky Harbins right now has got the lead with Alan Wilson coming up from behind. They're 3 wide, slow enough. Corner 4, not the turn you want to do it off of. Oh, can they hold it? They're still going 3 wide. How are they even able to hold it there? That is a absolute madman's dash if I ever saw one, and that is a long place to be if you ask me. Holy cow, that was a move and a half right there. Harpin's trying to hold Duran off. Alan Wilson and Edward Kane also coming right for them both. It's anybody's race here as we're coming to the end of it. 7 laps remain. Pretty much the final four of the level drivers here currently going for broke, going for big. Nobody getting the advantage just yet. Harpin's currently keeping a close eye on that rear view mirror while also at the same time trying to not think about it, trying to just stay focused on his own objective, his own goal. Edward Kane, Alan Wilson, all of them also mix it up a little bit. Durant throwing the trump to the bottom. A huge block by the 71. And the 5 now, Durant has got him on there. He closed the gap off. He caught him just enough. We have a new leader. 5 to go by a tire length. That would have gone to the 5. But how much longer will it go? Because here comes Brad Ward now into the fray. The 87 somehow, some way, despite the troubles, despite the wreckage, he just continues to fight. No quit in the 87, and he is coming up close. He's coming up fast. Somebody's got to give, though, and there's got to be someone that gives an inch, but which one will it be? Harpin starting to make a move off down. Traeger already dealing with that 44 of Derek Whitford. 4 more to go. The playoff drivers sending it down their way. Not a whole lot of breathing room left for them here, and they know it too. Brad Ward stuck to the outside. Caught off guard. Caught in the mix of it. 3 laps remain. Next time by, green flag goes high in the air for 2 to go. Mad Brad is on a mission to get back to that front. Durant looking to play spoiler though in the 5. Green flag high in the air this time on by. 5-car battle for the lead. Which one will get to him first? Can Harpins get to him at all? Durant is actually starting to pull further and further away. It was staying in that draft. There's not a whole lot of breathing room for it. Not a whole lot of area to scope it out. Brad Ward and Alan Wilson here looking to keep their momentum going, but the white flag will appear this time on around. Harpin's now going to try to close them off. Huge speed boost coming. And Durant saw it. He called his bluff. He got him good there coming down that turn 2 sector. Down the back straightaway. Harpins now will deal with Wilson as Luke Durant off of corner number 4. Gonna bring it home for him and his team. Checkers are out. It's Durant, Harpins, Wilson, Ward, and Kane coming top 5. Unofficial results right now, unconfirmed. We'll see how this all plays out. But Luke Durant posting the number, posting the car. And Highside Motorsports catches an extremely big break. What a performance by the crew, by the drivers, and everybody here. They gave it a heck of a battle and a heck of a run. No doubt about it. Race results now coming up on your screen, race fans. Presented by the ButtKicker Company. Here is the final results. Luke Durant will take this one home. Rocky Harpins will take home second, third, going to we'll go to Alan Wilson. Fourth will go to Brad Ward.
5th will go to Edward Kane. 6th to Brian P. Traeger. 7th to Derek Woodford. 8th to Jason Jackson. 9th to Brandon Sheffield. 10th to Nick Barassi. Rounding out the field. What a drive to survive, and a chaotic one at that. But nevertheless, here, race fans, absolutely amazing performance by our drivers and by the field, and it's now time to take a listen in with them here. We are joined in now by our third place finisher today, piloting in the 79 here. It will be Alan Wilson coming away here with the third place finish. Alan, congratulations on that, and yeah, what a way to kind of keep this playoff train going and to give yourself a chance to really stick into it. A podium finish certainly must help out quite a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was really huge. We didn't run up front all day, but we were there at the end, so that really helps for the playoffs for sure.
Definitely through, and I know with the next race up, I know that's going to be a bit of another challenge for you guys, but how confident do you feel kind of weighing it up with this position now?
Well, we're usually good on the plate tracks. It's just can you survive till the end in this league? So I think we'll be up there. It'll just be, you always roll the dice there, so nice to have a good finish here.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, with the third today, who do you want to thank here for that?
Oh, I got to thank my teammates, Luke and Lawrence, and all the guys at Highside, Bumper Thumper, Race Tools Direct, and all the guys that support us.
For sure there. All right, Alan, congratulations on this, and the playoff dreams keep going through.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing for the Highside Motorsports Camp, that was, of course, Mr. Alan Wilson here. Will now be joined here from another set of drivers from the E-Speed Camp. It is going to be the 71 of Rocky Harpins, and your second place finisher today overall. Rocky, the highest of the playoff position finishers today, and boy, talk about a Rocky comeback, if you will. He absolutely had to climb the stairs and hold on for greatness there just to get this thing in second place.
Yeah, it was definitely back to the front kind of night. I did it several times. Luckily, I put together a pretty decent setup for this one. Just wished it was a little bit better short run. That didn't really work out for me, but give her all I could. Congrats to Luke. He fucking nailed it on that last little bit, and he was right there fighting with me pretty much the whole race. So I got to give him kudos and everything like that.
For sure there. Well, I'll ask you this too as well. I mean, I know things got a little bit hairy there coming to the end, coming to the wire, but when you were fighting Duran off, was it just getting a little bit tight on that bottom just to hang it on there?
Yeah, so I didn't take fuel on that final stop, and I think that just made me a little tight, a little too tight there to the end. And, I think that hurt the short run speed, but I wanted to make sure to get as close to the cars on old tires as possible, so I could try and work my way around them quickly, which that did work a little bit, but to my detriment, it just got a little too tight there at the end.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here Rocky is coming away second today at Texas. Who do you want to thank you for that?
Oh man, I got a shout out to teammates in the race: Chris James, Brian Traeger. All those guys, we're kind of a ragtag group. We're not a real team. We're just kind of goofing off and stuff like that. So to come away with the second place finish like that, I'll definitely take it.
Absolutely. All right. Well.
Oh yeah, and I gotta say thank you to the Shake and Bake guys that run this league. It's always fun to race here Sundays.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, Rocky, a great performance for you and the crew. The highest of the playoff finishes. Congratulations on that, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Rocky Harpins, ladies and gentlemen, there. Taking it all in stride, and maybe a few sensors blown in between there. That's okay. We'll get that dialed up later. But nevertheless, here, your first place finisher today, finally coming away with a win. Luke Duran, the Big Five, gets this one home. And Duran, you may have gotten knocked out of the playoffs then, but I think you might have stunned a few drivers and kind of put them in their place too here at this track.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I thought I was in the playoffs still. It's the round of 12, right? I thought I was in, but maybe not.
Well, on our end, we didn't see the P for playoffs, but maybe we could be very wrong as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I was surprised. That race, we were definitely a 7th or 8th place car because we were so bad on the long run, we had to manage the tires the whole time. And so when we got that short run, I knew I had a shot.
Certainly had a shot. You had a great opportunity there, and you certainly took it with all in stride, right?
Yeah, man, I perked up a little bit when I realized I was going to restart fourth behind two guys that had no old tires.
Well, I'd say definitely held on to it pretty well and came forth with a good performance here today. So, Luke, you got a race win today, man. Who do you want to thank you for all this?
Thanks to you guys for putting this on for us and all the admin and stuff. I think they do a really good job for them. And all the drivers that show up, the majority of them race pretty clean. And can't forget Alan and Lawrence for helping me adjust the setups because I know nothing about that kind of stuff.
Sure there.
And yeah.
All right. Well, look, man, congratulations on a race win. Well deserved and earned here at Texas.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 5 tonight, Luke Duran will bring this one home to victory lane. Big thank you to our friends over at the ButtKicker Company for sponsoring and supporting this entire season. Again, for the ButtKicker Company, it's the best in performance on feeling real tracks, the virtual world. Feel what you've been missing. And race fans, that all but covers it. Thank you so much, everybody that tuned on in. We love and thank you all so much for your support. We'll see you guys next time when the green is flying high.